Hi, everybody. My name is Leah Barrett. I'm a regional vice president. I currently live in Northern California, just about a half hour north of San Francisco. And I just really wanted to start by just saying how honored I am that I had the chance to share a little bit about my story and share a little bit about what it was like for our team to go region in May of 2014. I've been with Arbonne for about 2.5 years. And when I started this business, I was working as a director of business development and vice president for a global advertising agency in Chicago. My husband Jeff and I lived there with our 2.5-year-old daughter, Olivia, and we were living a great life, but we were also limited by some things. Like many of you, we were limited by some of the responsibilities that we had as a family. And there were times in our life where we looked around at some of the things that were happening and we just would ask ourselves, is this it? Is this what, we want our life to look like? At that time, my husband Jeff was traveling Monday through Thursday to Houston for his job. And I was working really long hours and trying to take care of a 2.5-year-old. A lot of the time by myself. We didn't have family in the city. And while my career was something that I had really poured myself into, and I had really spent a long time cultivating this rapport with my company, and, I really identified so much of my identity was in my job. I also was very conflicted. I was conflicted as a new mom. I had a little girl at home who I was getting to see in the mornings and in the evenings, and I was getting updates all day long from her nanny about various milestones and things that she was doing in her life. And I felt really torn by a lot of what was going on in our life in that point in time. And, in a true moment of vulnerability, I share that there were days where I would drop her off at daycare after racing around in the morning, just trying to get anywhere on time. And I would sit at these stoplights driving to work and I would cry. This wave of sadness would come over me that I knew that I was putting one foot in front of the other on a daily basis and doing what was responsible for my family, but I wasn't really living the life that I had imagined. And I certainly was not being the parent that I had hoped to be. When I envisioned having a family and envisioned having a little girl, I really thought I would be there for more of it, and I was missing a lot of it. And so I would sit at these stoplights and just feel this wave of desperation kind of come over me, just very torn, because I knew that it was responsible for me to be working, and we had a lot of life responsibilities. We had a mortgage, and we had car payments, and we had college loans to pay off, and college to save for, and preschool to pay for, which is kind of like paying for college. And I just felt very stuck. I just really didn't know kind of what was the next step. And there were times when I thought about quitting altogether and staying home. There were times I thought about going back to school. I even joked that I would go down the street and I would work at the coffee shop. Don't worry, all my healthy living pals, I am no longer addicted to coffee. I am now addicted to fizz. But I was torn. And there were times that my husband and I would sit down at the dinner table together at 9 o'clock at night after having gotten our daughter to bed. And, we would just have discussion with each other, like where are we going? What is happening? And I didn't have a plan. I just could not see my way out of what was happening at that time. So when my very good friend, who I've known since I was 16, Katie Day Dominiches, called me one night while I was racing to pick up Olivia from daycare, hoping they wouldn't shut the doors on me and I'd get her home in time to, get her dinner and race her off to bed. Katie called me and she said, who do you know who might be looking to build a business from home? Who do you know who might be looking for an opportunity like Arbonne? And she had asked me before. I don't really remember this, but she will tell you. I had kind of brushed it off before. And this time when she called, my ears were attuned. I was just a lot had happened in my life in those few months that she had asked previously. And so when she said to me, who do you know? I said, me. I want to talk to you. I just want to hear a little bit about what you're doing. And I was intrigued by the fact that she told me this was something that I could build alongside my current career. I didn't have to quit in order to do Arbonne. And, really one of the most important things was that I had the opportunity to have a full-time income, replace the six-figure income I was making at that time with this business opportunity. And that meant something to me. It gave me hope that there was something else that I could be doing, but doing it on my own terms. So I jumped in and I did what she told me to do, and I just went full force, and I started sharing the business, and I started sharing the opportunity. And before you know it, we had built a team. And what was so fascinating to me is that as I was starting to unravel these pieces of what was going on in our life and our family to try to figure out a better path, I started having real conversations with other people and talking to them about their responsibilities and their challenges and, the expense of paying for preschool, husbands who traveled, jobs that they maybe had loved but no longer served their lives, things in their life that they were really looking for different outs. And Arbonne was a wonderful vehicle for them as well, just like it had been for our family. And so this really gave me just such a sense of belonging and hope. And I kept thinking, you know what? Even on days where this is maybe challenging and I'm trying to fit this in alongside a job and fit this in alongside raising a child, if there is even one other mom, one other person that I could just help not sit at a stoplight and shed tears over what to do next, then I knew that this was all worth it. And I knew that learning and being coachable and pouring into all of the people who were trusting us as a team to help them show another path, I knew that that was all going to be worth it. And our journey to Region was not one without lots of ups and downs and people coming and going in and out of our business, like all of our journeys are, I think. But, we just all as a team kept putting one foot in front of the other. And what was so remarkable to me last spring when we started to see this momentum building to Region was just this excitement. It was right around this time of year. It was last January and February. We really started to see this momentum build and this excitement. And so we just started to lock arms and we communicated regularly, daily text, daily cheering each other on, just really making this decision that we were going to go for this. And I think for a lot of us, people on our team who had kind of been there since the beginning, and we do have a lot of consultants on our team who've been on this team since the beginning, we just got to a point where it was like, we need to push, because when one of us pushes, all of us push. So this was not just, you don't go Region by yourself. You go Region as a team, and you go Region by helping other people vocalize their goals and vocalize what they want out of this business opportunity, help them ask those questions to their team, and really figure out how all boats can rise when we work together. So last spring, it just hit this momentum where it honestly felt like we were kind of ticking up to the top of this roller coaster. And we would talk daily and communicate and be vulnerable and share what we were doing and share the highs and share the lows and share scary moments until all of a sudden it was like everyone's on board. And all the leaders on our team were on board. And it was just like this rush of whoosh, all the way to we completed at the end of May, and it was just incredibly exciting. And in that process, we had new area managers, we had new districts, we had new consultants coming on our team. And it was just like breathing life into all of these people that this was possible. And are we all where we want to be? No, we're not all there yet. But what's remarkable about this team is that we are working together. We have true leadership. We talk regularly, we are lifting each other up, we're asking each other what we want out of this, it evolves, and we're just truly trying to be there for each other, to inspire each other, to want more, to do more, to want more for the people on our team. And honestly, we just have to, constantly be there for each other, because this is a personal journey. It's something that you do with your friends. It's something that you do with people you know and you love. And it's really important to always be there for your team and just be a listening ear for them. So for all of you who are pushing for Region, who that's your next step, or you're sitting in this room and you're just kind of thinking, where do I go next? What I have always been taught and trained, and I really take to heart, is just to listen, to be there for your team, to find out what they want in this, to meet them where they're at, to help push a little bit further than maybe where they think they can go, and just all work together to do this and communicate. So I'm so honored to have had the opportunity to share a little bit about my story and vision. Arbonne obviously has just been such a blessing to our family, and it's, we're going to the top, and we're so excited to see all of you there too. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of this conference. Thank you so much.